Osrc News at 7. Governor Ayedatiwa distributes new vehicles to traditional rulers to boost local governance. Experts warn post-harvest losses stalled Nigeria's food security efforts amid moribund grain silos. Court holds PDP 2025 National Convention over legal non-compliance. From the foreign scene, emergency UN session called as Atrocities Rock Sudan. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on Osrc television. My name is Oyewumi Ayinigbara. The presentation of new vehicles to traditional rulers across the state is a fulfillment of promise to prioritize their welfare and promote peace at the grassroots. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa made the remark at the official presentation ceremony held at Ondo State Council of Obas Secretariat in Akure. Governor Aiyedatiwa, while reaffirming his administration's commitment to improving the welfare of royal fathers and strengthening the traditional institution, said the vehicles are symbols of dignity, honor, and respect to enhance the efficiency of monarchs in discharging their duties. Government House correspondent Wahab Ankoli has the detail.
This presentation ceremony of vehicles to traditional rulers in Ondo State marks a bold step by the Aiyedatiwa administration to strengthen the traditional institutions and promote the welfare of royal fathers. Held at the state's Obas Secretariat in Akure, the event was attended by royal fathers and top government officials led by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Amidu Takuro, described the presentation a gesture of appreciation and recognition of the invaluable roles played by traditional rulers in promoting peace, unity, and community development.
The approval of Mr. Governor for today's presentation of new vehicles. This is not a Tokubo car. This is a brand new vehicle. It's a demonstration of Mr. Governor's love and admiration for the traditional institution in the state. I therefore wish to enjoin our royal fathers to make use of this vehicle for the enhancement of peace, progress, and stability within their community.
The chairman of Akure South Local Government and chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, ALGON, in the state, Benga Fashua, hailed the governor for his commitment to grassroots development and inclusivity.
This is indeed a record-breaking event that will go into annals of a lifetime in this state and of course in this nation. Sir, so much has been said, but today you have indeed proved to the entire world that if you say it, you will do it.
Governor Aiyedatiwa said the gesture demonstrated his administration's appreciation for the unwavering support of traditional rulers, particularly in maintaining peace and security within their domain. Aiyedatiwa described the event as a fulfillment of his promise to prioritize the welfare of traditional rulers and promote peace at the grassroots.
The custodians of our rich cultural heritage, the preservers of our values, are the closest link between government and the grassroots. Our administration recognizes your importance and cannot afford to neglect your welfare. Within the first year of our tenure, our government completed the long-abandoned project for the construction of a befitting secretariat for the meetings and other activities of your majesties. And today, we are using the same facility to perform this ceremony.
The governor noted that the vehicles are symbols of dignity, honor, and respect to enhance the efficiency of monarchs in discharging their duties.
This achievement, coupled with the prompt payment of the statutory 5% of total fund allocation to the 18 local government areas of the state from the Federation account to our traditional institutions, underscores our firm dedication to your cause. On this team to commission the use of this vehicle in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Responding on behalf of the traditional rulers, the chairman of the State Council of Obas and Olowo Oba Ajibade Ogunwoye commended Governor Aiyedatiwa for the gesture, noting that the move will further strengthen the cordial relationship between the government and the traditional institution.
You have been surprising us because of what you've been doing for us. Completion of this wonderful edifice here, 5% that you have equally approved for us, and many more. We are grateful, Mr. Bob.
All grade A Obas in the state received a Toyota Fortuner Jeep 2025 model, while all grade B and C Obas will receive a Toyota Cross Jeep 2025. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
In Nigeria, a quiet crisis is unfolding on the field after harvest. Billions of naira worth of grains rot before they reach the table due to lack of proper storage. Can resurrecting abandoned silos save farmers, feed the nation, and secure Nigeria's food future? Adewumi Taiwo has more on that story.
These towering structures in Ondo State were once the pride of post-harvest preservation, designed to keep Nigeria's farm yield from pest, rain, and time. But today, the national monument stand neglected beyond what our camera lens could capture. Inside this edifice are rusted doors, weeds climbing concrete walls, and echoes replacing the humming of grain elevators. Experts estimate that 33% of Nigeria's harvest is lost post-harvest, enough to feed millions. This means food wastage, income loss, and installed future. Agri experts describe non-functional storage facilities a silent thief of harvest.
Silos can be a game changer for agriculture in Nigeria, especially in the southwest, when farmers have access to reliable storage, so they don't have to rush to sell their produce after harvest, because this will reduce post-harvest losses, and it also helps to stabilize prices and improve food availability all year round, and it also encourages value addition and strengthening food security.
But storage alone is not enough. According to agriculture engineer Professor Akimbili, deliberate and aggressive farming is required to produce grains for storage.
The silos in Akure, for instance, have been grossly underutilized because we do not really have sufficient crop production to be able to fill the silos, to be able to function at an optimal capacity. Because even what we have is not sufficient for people to consume, let alone store it. It is when you have excess that you can store, so that you can actually use it for price stability and market control. So that in case there's going to be scarcity, you can release what you have in the silos and force the market prices to a reasonable level that can be affordable, affordable to consumers. But what we have is, number one, insufficient. Even the ones we have not been optimally utilized because we are not self-sufficient in food production at all levels.
Ondo State government says farm yield has not exceeded local consumption. However, conversation is on with the federal government towards reviving the moribund silos in anticipation of bountiful harvest.
I was in Abuja and I met with Nigeria Commodity Exchange. It's a newly created exchange market. We discussed about this silo. It's owned by federal government. It doesn't belong to the state. But before we ask federal government for concession, I want us to design a program that we want to do, because we are encouraging our youth now to go into maize farming. We have about 2 of it in Ondo State. We have that one in Odaro, and there is another one that is yet to be completed in Akoko side. So we are discussing extensively on this. So state government is going to, if it is going to be partnership or concession, whatever it need be, to make sure by the time we begin to produce in excess, we have a place to stop. So it's going to kick off very soon.
Behind me is a silo along Oda Road in Akure. Evidently, no activity is taking place here. For Ondo State and Nigeria, this is a major facility critical to food sufficiency and sustainable agriculture, and it is calling for revival. Adewumi Taiwo, OSRC News.
You're still watching Osrc News at 7 in the second part of the news. Court holds PDP 2025 National Convention over legal non-compliance. Please do join us for this and more after the break.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Then you need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Then stay in power, you find it all in peak. Then every move you make picks got you all the way. And the beat goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
One soft voice could take darkness with a kulele promise. It could calm your feet them. You fit smoke up, you fit smoke up, you fit sniff up. The first drag they hit, but the addiction no be play oh. It could first scatter your body. Your mind it could come follow. It could dabaru your work, your future, even your money. Yeah, but no forget oh. Help day, no give up. You fit break cycle with correct help and better support. You fit overcome reach out for better future. Na Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) say make a young give una. Say no to drugs. NDDC, 25 years of making a difference.
Go.
Thank you very much for joining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Ondo State's government has reaffirmed its commitment to the policy initiative of Ease of Doing Business aimed at attracting more investors and driving industrial development across the state. The State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Development, Mr. Sunday Ilajide, made this known while hosting the management of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Agency in his office in Akure. He reiterated the resolve of Adi Aiyedatiwa administration to remove every bottleneck capable of delaying or frustrating potential investors. The federal government has intensified efforts to actualize implementation of the national single window at the nation's ports by 2026. Vice President Kashim Shettima said the policy targeted at creating a single platform to harmonize documentation, minimize human content, and bring full transparency to the cargo clearance process would be a game changer at the ports. Shettima, who spoke during the second meeting of the Port and Custom Efficiency Committee in Abuja, said the target is to reduce average cargo clearance time from 21 days to less than 7 days by the end of 2026 and to position Nigerian ports among the top 3 most important trade corridors in Africa. He directed the Nigerian Port Authority, Nigerian Customs Service, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Standards Organization of Nigeria, and other relevant agencies to come up with a roadmap on how to make Nigeria's weight and measures framework effective. Shetima expressed optimism that executive order on joint physical inspection currently before President Bola Tinubu stands as one of the boldest and most decisive steps towards reversing these trends. The Ondo State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, in partnership with the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, has launched the Odatwa Women Fitness and Health Awareness Outreach Program. The event, held at the Arcade Ground in Akure, was led by the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Sheon Osamaye, and aligns with the government's commitment to empowering women and promoting their overall well-being. Our correspondent Abidemi Akerotoye has details.
The Odatiwa Women Fitness and Health Awareness Outreach opened with energy and excitement. Long before sunrise, hundreds of women converged on the arcade ground in Akure, dressed in white t-shirts and sneakers, a symbol of unity, vitality, and renewed commitment to healthier living. The air was filled with determination as women from diverse walks of life came together under a common cause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Led by professional instructors, participants engaged in a range of invigorating exercises, from stretches and aerobics to rhythmic dance routines. However, the excitement also gave way to frayed nerves. Each moment was a reminder that fitness is not just physical exertion, but an expression of strength, balance, and resilience. The event also featured a health talk where a member of the Ondo State Hospital Management Board, Ariola Adamolekun, spoke on the importance of exercise and proper nutrition.
When you do exercises, your mood will be balanced. When you might fluctuate, so exercise helps your mood.
As part of the awareness drive, participants were encouraged to view fitness not as a once-in-a-while event, but as a lifestyle, one that supports mental health, boosts productivity, and enhances family well-being. The highlight of the day came with a thrilling dance competition. In the end, the judges declared a tie, awarding 10,000 each to 2 outstanding winners. The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Dr. Sheon Osamaye, said the Odatiwa Women Fitness Initiative was designed to motivate women to incorporate exercise into their daily routine and to take ownership of their health. She assured participants that the program would be sustained as a monthly event.
We decided to do this because we know Mr. Governor's intention towards women is to ensure that all of those great women have access to opportunities to make life better for them. And it is important for us to play our part to ensure that we have a sound mind and a healthy body. And that's why we've come here, so that we can continue to enjoy the way that's what the benefits and opportunities with sound mind and healthy body.
As the women stretched, jogged, and danced into the morning, one message resonated clearly: that fitness is not a luxury, but a lifestyle. Abidemi Akerotoye, Osrc News.
The Association of Resident Doctors of the Federal Capital Territory has announced it will commence an indefinite strike starting 12 midnight tomorrow, November 1, 2025, over unresolved welfare and administrative issues. The declaration was contained in a letter addressed to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The letter followed the announcement by its national body, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, to commence an indefinite and total strike on the same date. Meanwhile, ARD FCTA doctors have vowed to continue their own indefinite strike action even if the national body suspends or calls off its ongoing strike. ARD-FCTA noted that the action became necessary due to long-standing issues affecting its members, which it said have not been resolved despite previous engagement with the authorities. The doctors are demanding the immediate payment of all outstanding salary arrears to members employed since 2023, commencement of recruitment of new doctors with written time-bound commitments to conclude before the end of 2025, and the immediate payment of the 2025 MRTF4 medical training. Other demands include the immediate stoppage of erroneous deductions and corrections of irregular salary payment, documented timelines for skipping and conversion to be fully concluded within 1 month, and the signing of a memorandum of understanding mandating the skipping of members within 3 months of employment, among others. We go on a quickly short break. When we come back, then we'll take more stories. Please just stay with us.
All bets on sports. What is fair? Huge winning. What is fair? High odds. What is fair? Fast pay. What is fair? What is fair? Bookmaker Company. Go.
You are welcome back. Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja stopped the planned 2025 National Convention of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) until the party complies with the statutory requirement of the party, the Constitution, and the Electoral Act. Delivering judgment in a suit filed by the three aggrieved members of the party, the judge also restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from accepting report on the outcome of any national convention of the party without following the due process of the law as well as its guidelines and regulations. The judge held that INEC is not entitled to give effect to the convention, a party not done in accordance with the Constitution, Electoral Act, and the guidelines and regulations of political parties. The chairman of the Niger State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Bolas Yohana, has urged Christians in the state to vote and be voted for in the November local government elections. The chairman, who also doubles as a Catholic bishop of Kotangora Diocese, called on residents of the state to shun voter apathy, saying it is not a good sign of the process. He urged eligible voters who are registered to get their permanent voters card from the Independent National Electoral Commission's office to ensure they exercise their franchise. The bishop also appealed to the Christian faithful to participate actively in all the electoral processes, stressing that it was their civic right. The bishop also called on security personnel to discharge their duties with the fear of God, appealing to the electorate to conduct themselves peacefully during and after the elections. The federal government has cautioned public servants and youth against illegal immigration and human trafficking, urging them to explore opportunities within Nigeria rather than risk their lives abroad. The appeal was made during a sensitization program organized in collaboration with Lagos State Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations, and aimed to raise awareness about the dangers of human trafficking and unsafe migration among civil servants and young Nigerians. Commissioner for Special Duties and Intergovernmental Relations Benga Oyerinde described human trafficking a form of modern-day slavery that preys on people's desperation for better opportunities abroad. He warned that traffickers often exploit Nigerians' belief that successes can only be achieved overseas, adding that labor and sexual exploitation remains the two most common forms of human trafficking. At the event, NITCOM chairperson Abike Dabirerewa decried the growing trend of human trafficking among educated youth and professionals, warning that traffickers capitalize on people's desperation. And now the accounts of atrocities and mass killings has prompted an emergency UN Security Council meeting Sudan's ambassador to the UN pointed the finger at the United Arab Emirates, accusing it of financing the RSF. Omoshilio Ladisoya Ajayi has the detail.
At an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council, members were briefed on the horrors faced by people trying to escape El Fasher after the Rapid Support Forces RSF took over the city.
Those able to flee, the vast majority women, children, the elderly, face extortion, rape, violence on the perilous journey. Young men have been abducted or killed on the road, large numbers of people prevented from leaving the area.
The council meeting comes after the Saudi maternity hospital was attacked by the RSF, with reports of hundreds of people killed, many by execution.
Communications have been cut off. The situation is chaotic. In this context, it is difficult to estimate the number of civilians killed.
Sudan's ambassador to the UN blamed the United Arab Emirates for the violence and called the paramilitary RSF its regional proxy.
Everyone knows that the Abu Dhabi regime continues to play the worst role in Sudan by equipping the RSF with armament and other resources aiming to continue the war. The RSF works 100% through the direction of the UAE, and many press reports have confirmed this and revealed the magnitude of the UAE involvement and magnitude of crimes in El Fasher, and they lay squarely on the shoulders of the UAE.
It's an allegation firmly rejected by the UAE ambassador.
It is an absurdity that one of the warring parties can carry on politicizing this forum by disseminating false and baseless allegations. This is a party that is directly responsible for the devastation of its own country. A party that has a record of obstructing peace efforts and refusing to agree to an immediate ceasefire. A party that has systematically expelled UN officials in a pattern of intimidation and interference in the UN's life-saving work.
Omoshiliola Adesoya Ajayi, Osrc News.
Leaders of the 21 Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation economies are meeting in South Korea. The bloc accounts for more than 60% of global economic output. But what really happens at this summit beyond the further opportunities, markets and statement? And can the bloc's mission of free trade survive the rivalry between its two most powerful members, the US and China? And with that, we conclude the news tonight, but before we go, another look at some of the top stories. We told you in the news that Governor Aiyedatiwa has distributed new vehicles to traditional rulers across the state to improving the welfare and strengthening the traditional institutions. The court has stopped the planned PDP 2025 National Convention over legal non-compliance. And from the foreign scene, the account of atrocities and mass killing has prompted an emergency UN Security Council meeting. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Good evening.